A smile is the same in every language, no matter who or where. A smile is a gift and free for giving. Share, share, share. Hello. Well, it's the 31st of March. It's really wet outside and really, really drizzly. I love it. I love the rain. Welcome to the Saturday Soft Pot Club. Now, it's sort of got a slightly Easter theme this time. I had a go at making a soft pot hat. It's got bunnies in it. Can you see? Oh, hello. Hello, Lily. Bring them on camera. I'm going to. My brother says that I talk too much and I don't show enough pots. So he said, why don't you just shut it down a little bit and give yourself 10 minutes just to show everybody. So here we go, 10 minutes. I'm going to do it. By the way, soft pots is a new form of garden craft. For those people who don't know, because not everybody knows you know. Yes, soft pots is a new form of garden craft. And it's a new form of container gardening. And this is what they look like. They're completely different. This is a little cauldron that I made. And it's just lovely, and it's bubbling up over the top, and it's got a nice little collar on it, and it's got little stubby feet, and it's just beautiful, isn't it? Now, you see, that is a soft pot. Soft pots take so many forms. It's really hard to actually, because they're so flexible. Anyway, there we are. One happy little, my little sister Gabby is watching too. Yes. I mean, it's all about cauldrons at this time of year, isn't it, in a funny sort of way? It's all about Easter and bunnies and the spring energy, the earth's energy bubbling up again. Yes. Right, here we go. This is an old favourite of mine. You know, soft pots are reusable. And depending on how you make them, they can last for years and years and years. Now, this is one that I made. Can you see the buffalo in there? The buffalo emblem. Now, I must have made that 2 years ago or so. Hello, Tracy. Whoa, hello, lovely lady. Yes, I was just showing this one. It's a little hanger that's been hanging on my wall, and I've completely forgotten about it. And I made it, must have made it 2 years ago, when I was at the... at one point, the soft pot garden was at the Royal Antediluvian Order of the Buffalo, which is a philanthropic organisation, and they had the most beautiful garden. And my soft pot garden went from Stonegate to the buffaloes, talking about finding a home where the buffalo roam. And the beer and the sandwiches went all day. It was wonderful. But unfortunately, that magnificent building was sold, and the soft pot garden then moved to Henshaw's. But this is a relic of the buffalo days. And I just thought I'd bring it in because the plant's doing really well. Just opened it up, bunged it in months ago. And see how well it's doing. It's just beautiful, isn't it? And here we go. This is another old favourite of mine. Now, the wonderful thing, you know, about soft pots is that you don't have to be a good gardener. You don't even have to be an artist. No problem whatsoever. Soft pots tend to look after themselves. They're better for the plant because the roots grow normally and you don't get root spiralling. I mean, if you pull out any plant from any terracotta or plastic pot, and you always get that root spiralling. Well, you don't with a soft pot. What happens is that the roots grow normally and eventually they'll come through underneath. And then you've got a choice. You can either pop another soft pot on and it'll go from one to the next, and then you get quite big soft pots that sort of look a bit like pagodas. Very pretty pagodas. Or, if you don't want it to get any bigger, you just rub the roots off. And the plants aren't stupid, you know. They go, ooh, and they bonsai themselves. Soft pots is a much kinder way of gardening. And because they're so flexible, I mean, whether or not you know it, soft pots are made out of ladies' tights and stockings. And, well, rather like the ladies who wear them. They're soft, strong, supportive, giving, nurturing, kind, and they are to plants If you have to have a plant in any sort of pot, there is no doubt whatsoever that a soft pot is much, much kinder. Anyway, here we are, and as you can see, this little chap, this is an old one too. And soft pots wear jewellery, feathers, beads, shells. I mean, sometimes it wears the bracelet, and sometimes I do. Yes, there we go. You see how pretty that is? Years and years I've had that one. And here we go again. This one I always bring out because it's always such a surprise. This is a little lithops, and I know that this is one of Nell's favourites. And if you look at the top, you can see that there's a collar there, and I just nicked the collar so that the materials come through, and it sort of echoes the actual lithops itself. And it's just a tiny little plant in a tiny little soft pot, and that's just a bangle. Any sort of bangle. You'll find that soft pots are kinder to the planet in many ways because you can reuse. So, oh, I have to take this hat off. Excuse me. It's a bit itchy, but yes, that's my Easter bonnet. Hello, Rick. Show you my Easter bonnet. Da 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 da. I had to make it to fit over my bonnet, my bun. But yes, this is a little lithops, and I was just showing. Oh, where is it? There we are. Just a tiny little soft pot, and this one I made ages ago. I mean, soft pots are perfect for indoor plants, outdoor plants. You just can't go wrong with a soft pot. And this is one that I made quite a long time ago now, and you know something, it's absolutely one of my favourites. They're just beautiful. Can you see that? It's just doing so well, and I've just yanked these straight out from outside. They're actually very, very wet. But one of the wonderful things about soft pots, you know, is that they absorb the water, but they don't. They're still free draining. And that's just gorgeous, isn't it? Now, this is one. Remember this one? This one wears feathers. And can you see? Now that's a judicious bit of fishnet underneath there. And it's just got a nice curly whirly neck. It's got an interesting neckline there. Can you see? And I mean, soft pots, you know, they take so many forms, so many shapes. They're just so flexible. You can have them long. You can wrap them around things. I mean, it's just a liberation. Just a total liberation for yourself, for the plant, and in some ways for the planet, because you can recycle so much stuff. Once you've made 3 or 4 soft pots, you know, you get what I call soft pot eyes. And everything you look at, you think, oh, could that go in a soft pot? Could I put a soft pot into it? Could I wrap a soft pot round it? It's just, oh, it's a whole new dimension in gardening and creativity. And, yes, let me go on. This is one of my favourites. I always bring her out. Talking about bonsai, I've just brought this in from outside, and she's at least 15 years old. And this is one of my favourite pots. It's a moss pot. And a moss pot is just the most wonderful covering for any plant, really. It acts as protection during the summer, and it protects the plant during the winter too. I mean, soft pots, you know, are much, much better in extreme conditions. They don't heat up like, you know, plastic plant pots do in the summer. I mean, they turn into an oven, and it's cruelty. You can almost smell the roots burning. There we are. But that one is just beautiful, isn't it? And you can see all the little buds coming back on. Oh, spring has definitely sprung. That alarm clock has gone off, hasn't it? And we've had some beautiful days. And this one's still doing well. I thought I'd just bring it in because it was on the windowsill, close to the door. But yes, this is another one. This is a spring flowering one. And there we go. That's just a lovely pot. And this, you see, is a stretchy neck. Now, when I demonstrate, I always demonstrate the simple soft pot. But actually, the classic neckline is one that just liberates you in lots and lots of different ways, because you can do so many things with it, and it makes the pots reusable. So, you know, it's not, you know, the pots are reusable, the things that you put in the pots are reusable, and I shamelessly reuse my pots and the materials in them again and again in some instances. Yes, but oh, I wish you had smelly vision. This is absolutely gorgeous. But you see, I mean, that's been outside, that's been going now for quite a long time, and I just love plants, you know, that are happy to just get on with it. And I find that with soft pots, because they can absorb the groundwater, I mean, they're fat bottom girls. They're the opposite shape to a conventional plant pot. And I mean, conventional plant pots are made for us so we can get our hands in. But soft pots are the other shape. And so they've got a wide base, so they're fat bottom girls. And they really hang on in there in difficult conditions. And they can look after themselves. They're not prisoners like plants in ordinary pots. And I know that many people will remember this old bird. Well, it's actually not the bird. I put the little bird in. That's a separate thing. But the clock is just a piece of junk that I found in a second-hand shop. And I saw it, and I found myself looking at it, thinking, why am I looking at that? And then I realised I had my soft pot eyes in. And I was looking at it with a view to making it into a soft pot. And that's what I did. And it just goes to show that you can take any piece of junk, a sculpture, or anything like that, make it into a soft pot, and suddenly it becomes something that's really, really, really special. Oh, Jill! Hello, Jill! Oh, happy Easter! Yes, happy Easter to everyone here. Yes, all our plans are springing new. There we go. Right, let me see if I just pop that down here. Actually, as it is Easter, I thought I'd have a go at showing you how I make an Easter egg. Well, I haven't made one for a year, but we'll see how it turns out. But the lovely thing about soft pot Easter eggs is that they don't put on weight. They make you very, very happy, but you don't put on weight. And they go on for years and years and years as well. If you've got a nice plant in there, yes. Right, now I'm just going to pop that to one side. And that one to one side. There we go. Come to me. Come to me. Oh, this is one I made a bit earlier. Now, that's sort of Easter colours, and it's going to have a lovely purple flower, and yeah, you can get, you know, I mean, I show you small ones, but you know, they can get much, much bigger. I have a garden that I take with me out into the field, and anybody who knows, it's very hard to make any sort of garden in the middle of a field when it's flat, and everything you can bring can just disappear. So you really do need to get height, and I've worked really hard over the years to find ways of getting height into my garden, and I'll share all of that with you as we sort of develop and go into the summer. But, oh yeah, remember this little hanger? Da-da-da-da, yes. Pretty, pretty little thing. Right, let's keep moving on. Oh, I know. Just to show you, things can get big. This is Bertha. I've had Bertha many, many years, and she's really quite a big jade plant, and I absolutely love her. She comes on tour with me, and she just loves it. When she's outside, oh, she absolutely adores the summertime, and she sulks when she comes in. I don't blame her either. It is lovely. Won't be long now. I'll release you, my girl. Right, where are we? Yes, and what else was that? Oh, let's have a look. Waving good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. Yes, it might be rainy, but it's fertilising all our wonderful ideas and hopes for the future. And Easter is all about rebirth. I mean, to me, every day is a new lifetime. But the holidays are special, however you celebrate them. And this has been a traditional time of honouring the gods. So, anyway, moving on. I've got a little Easter cactus here. I suppose they're called Easter cactus because they flower at Easter. Hello. They flower at Easter. So I thought I'd have a go at making a little Easter egg sort of soft pot with a little cactus in it. Now, let's see if I can move this up closer. There we are. That's a bit better. Right, starting off. Now, I've got a dark top, so I'm going to use a light stocking, and I think that will probably suit that. I find that actually I tend to use blonde stockings when I've got succulents, cacti, things like that. It's noticeable. Everything else tends to get black stockings, but not cacti. Right, I'm just going to take that foot off that stocking. So I start a little bit higher. And then I always use a bit of washed gravel. Where's the ring? The soft pot ring, the magic ring. Drop it through. Now all of this actually, the ring, the basic things to make a soft pot come with a kit. And the kit's available on my website, and hopefully very, very soon there's going to be a video that you can download, and it's the first lesson I teach after the simple soft pot, and it's the classic soft pot. And in that one, I've done it now, it just needs to get put onto my website, and hopefully that will be next week. All I need to do is get it onto my website, then you can download it, and it shows you the classic soft pot, and it also shows you how to make a classic soft pot into a classic wall hanger. And that's quite a handy thing to know as well. Right, here we go. What have I got? Now I've got compost here. And to that, I'm going to add just a little bit of soft pot gold, because cacti tend to like to be on the drier side, and I find that with soft pot gold, the more water it needs, the more soft pot gold I put in. The less water it needs, the less soft pot gold I put in. And what I might do is I might actually mix in a little bit of gravel as well. Now, soft pot gold is the secret to making a soft pot. Whether it be a sculpture, whatever you're doing, use the soft pot gold. See that? It's beautiful. Inside the pot, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and it functions importantly to actually stop the compaction that occurs, because a regular leg of stocking, its remit is to constrict, and consequently, if you just put compost into a leg of stocking, it'll just get compacted down to nothing. What you need is something to stop that compaction, and soft pot gold does that perfectly. It absorbs the water and nutrients, it releases it slowly, a bit like porridge, and it's absolutely the business. Now I'm just going to put 1 scoop of compost in there. I've got 3 scoops of compost in this little bucket that I've got. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill this up and just going to hold this over the leg of just over the bucket, and then just drop it in, nice and easy. I find that if I let it dangle over the bucket, then gravity does the work, and that's quite good. Now, keep filling it up. There we are. We really are lucky that it rains so much here in England, you know. We have no issue with water. Everything is green. When you go to places like Lanzarote, they're like boiled rocks. Nothing green unless it's heavily, heavily watered. We are just so lucky to have so much rain. Right. Here we are. Got my little soft pot. Going to do the donut. I've just done the bounce, and that dropped all the compost down to the bottom in a nice loose pile, and that's just what I want. And oh, this feels lovely. It does. There we are. Right, I'm going to walk this down. Let me give it a stretch. Stockings have memory, and so it's good to sort of give them some idea of what it is you're going to want from them. Now, hopefully this is going to be enough. Taking this out, blimey, this is damp. Now, just going to stretch the neck open as wide as I can, and you get quite good at doing this when nobody's watching. And I'm going to just take that up as far as I can without touching anything too much. Now at this point, this is where I always tend to think of them as a bit like children. Pop them into bed and you bring up the blankets. Got my thumb on its shoulder, just as a guide. I don't want anything to come up too far. And then I'm just going to bring it up. Just bringing up the compost from the bottom up to the side. There we are. Oh, nice one. Now it doesn't really matter too much about the shape at this point, because at the end they'll remember every shape that you've given them. Once it's got 2 layers, then it really does have memory. Now, I'm just going to take this slice of tie it round here. Now this is a simple soft pot. A simple soft pot doesn't spill. And this tie here is tight enough so I can feel the plant, but I can still get my finger in underneath. There we go. Now, when it comes to decorating, you really do need synthetic materials. Any sort of synthetic material, that would be fantastic. Stay away from anything that's natural. Natural materials, they'll rot between the layers. Don't do it. Don't use it. Now, I'm just going to wrap this. I'm trying to think of Easter chocolates. Let's have a go. Let's have a go. I'm just trying to tuck this material underneath that band, and that will just hold it in place. There we are. Have a little bit there. Now, I've got all sorts of bits of material, and I've got a bits box, and in my bits box I've got all sorts of shiny, glittery bits. I mean, once you start making soft pots, it's a license to let your inner jackdaw out. Anything bright, anything shiny, materials with holes in them, textures, anything like that, absolutely fabulous. When you order the soft pot kit, the soft pot kit comes with a good selection of different bits of materials, and it's just a start, but it's a good start. The soft pot kit comes with enough gubbins to make 20 soft pots. I mean, soft pots are absolutely wonderful for parties, you know. Get together, hen night, anything like that, and you come away with something that you absolutely adore. Right, let's have a look. What have I got here? Right, I've got some bits of material that I've just tucked under there. I mean, you don't always need I mean, a lot of the time when I do these episodes, I always tend to finish up putting loads and loads of stuff on. But actually, in many ways, you don't really need loads and loads of stuff. You could just use materials. And I thought maybe I'd have a go at doing that. Although, having said that, I always find that when it comes to making Easter eggy things, I do like a bit of glitter. Well, let's have a look at that. What else now? What else? Maybe a little bit of yellow. Push the boundaries a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. There we are. I think yellow and purple are quite traditional, aren't they, at Easter time? There we are, just a little bit of this, just a little bit of that. Yeah. And you have to think sort of in a fairy when you're making a soft pot. Because really, that's what you're doing. You're making a fairy dress for your plant. And it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I have to admit, I started off today a little bit wobbly. But actually, as I'm making the soft pot, I have to confess, I'm feeling much, much happier. Now, I'm putting on any sort of glittery bits that I might have, knocking about. Yes. What about some sequins? Put sequins in. Oh, soft pots wear feathers, beads, shells, sweet wrappers, milk bottle tops. Actually, talking about sweet wrappers, let's put some sweet wrappers in. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I mean, people always say, ooh, you know, when do you know when it's time to stop with a soft pot? I always say, when it looks like a fairy going to the ball. And I think we're getting there. Now, I have worked diligently to get these little cellophane wrappers all over Christmas. I worked hard to achieve these. Yes, I ate all of them, and I paid the price. Now, I'm just taking these little wrappers and just popping them under there, in between the layers. And little bits of ribbon. I found a little bag that had all sorts of little bits of ribbon in. Now I've used it all. There we are. Just a little bit there too. Now, when it comes to the neck, let's have a look. I find this sort of wire is absolutely fantastic. I send it, it's on my website, by the way, www.softpots.com. Oh, hello from London. You're back from India. Hello, hello. Actually, you were in, weren't you with your daughter in Holland a couple of days ago? My goodness me, Alex, you get around. Astro Alex, you've got wings. Oh, Sue, hello, Sue. Oh, thank you for joining me. Right, here we go. What I've got here is I've just made myself a little bit of a hoop out of this wire, and this wire is great because it's ready wrapped. I used to strip electrical wire and then you have to wrap it all again. This makes life so much easier. Yes, happy birthday. I can't believe that little girl is 20. I remember her. I remember, yes. Oh, and she's beautiful. Well done. Now, what I've got here, I've just dropped that down over the neck. Now, hopefully this is going to work. We never know. One of the wonderful things you know about soft pots is that you never know what's going to happen. And there's no point starting a soft pot with a great big plan, because most of the time it's a collusion between you and the plant and your own creative spirit. And there's something magical happens. Something magical happens. It's hard to describe, but by the time you've finished, you're in love. And it's a self-love thing. Soft pots, when you make a soft pot, you can't help but make you happy. I have to admit, I didn't start off in the best mood today, but all of a sudden I feel so much better. And I think it's working with the plant, the living plant, your own creative spirit, and just set sail and see what you both come up with. I mean, today, yes, I am trying to work to some idea of doing an Easter egg, but generally, just go for it. I mean, I'm not sure this wants to be an Easter egg, but we shall see. Taking this down over the top, bringing it down as quickly as possible. Right, now that, I'm bringing that up. I'm squishing it. I'm going to sort of try and make a sort of egg shape, cracked egg. This stuff is great. You can just bend it and twist it, do anything you like, really. There we are. Going to just force some of this stuff up into that neckline. There. Now, going to pick this up, grab its bum, see there? Grab it underneath, bring this down over my arm. And as I'm pulling down, somebody's at the front door, but I'm not going to answer. There we go, I'm pulling this down. And as I do so, all this stuff that's hanging down underneath, I'm just going to shove that back up. There we are. I can feel it. Can you hear it crinkling? Oh, Elizabeth Parker. Hello. Happy Easter. Yes, happy Easter. So, right, I'm just teasing this back up. There we are. Pulling this down. Let's have a look. There we are. You can see what it's like. Now, this next bit's for our benefit. I think the plant would say rather not, but I'm going to turn it upside down. This is called a twizzle. Turn it upside down. Grab it by its bum. keep that out of the way because it'll try and get involved. Spin it. And this is where the magical bit happens. All of a sudden, the plant, the materials, everything becomes bound into one. And you finish up with a complete creation unto itself. It's beautiful. Right, got this far. Da 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 da. Just going to tie. Well, I'll come round here. Just going to tie a knot. Now, I'm going to see if I can decide. I'm going to pull it to one side. I want that to move up, and here you just fiddle and twiddle with this neckline until you've got what you want. And you can pull the material up into that area. And I'm just teasing it out. And I can pull that material that's trapped in there between the layers. There we are. Right, going to cut the umbilical cord. Where are my scissors? Where are my scissors? Those will do. And it's at this stage that you can just give it any shape that you want. Now, let's give it a little bit more of a... You see, just squish it into the right shape. And you can see where that neckline is. Now, I could fiddle with it and twiddle with it for quite a long time, and I probably will afterwards. But at the moment, you can sort of see where this is going. Now, if I was any good at tying bows, I'd probably put a bow around the middle there, and then it would possibly look even more like an Easter egg. But, ooh, what's that? Bit too big. But, now, an Easter egg, you can actually make this sit so that it's actually slightly biased. Now, there. I got myself a little stand. Have a look. There we are. Oh, that's a better stand. When it comes to soft pots, you can stand them on all sorts of interesting things. That's more like it. And then just give it a squash so that it's got that egg shape. There we go. How's that? Now, one soft pot Easter egg. And it's quite a pretty little number. I think I could have done better, but then, hey, having said that, probably make another one now. But there we go. I think maybe if I tied a bow round there, it would give it the final Easter egg touch. But that is beautifully shiny and very, very pretty. And this sort of Easter egg will go on for years and years and years. It'll give you loads and loads of pleasure, and you won't put on any weight. So yes, there we are. Happy Easter one and all. It'll be April. Next time Saturday Softpot Club's on, time is racing by. And it'll be time to start thinking about seeds and planting things and vegetables and the whole season starts up again. But for now, I would say enjoy your holidays, enjoy this sacred time, and make the most of it. Make soft pots, make yourself happy. And yes, see you soon. All the best to you. Join these. Oop.